Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dr. Chaz's Lego room. And we're going to continue tonight with the building of the Eiffel Tower. As you remember last time, we got through steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 of box number 1, the very beginning of it. And as you see here on the table, this is what the beginning of it looks like. And tonight we're going to go through right here, right over here is beginning. Right here we're going to do bags 5 and 6, and this will be on page 41 if you're following along with me in the very first book of Eiffel Tower, book 1, right here, and that's going to be page 41. So we're going to turn over here, stuck together. So we're going to go on to page 42 with bags 5 and 6 right there. So we're going to put the camera up here a little bit, tighten her down, and we'll get started right here. I'll put some parts over here on my pad and get them lined up, and we'll get going here. Sorry about the shakiness. I'm just trying to get the camera locked down here. Here it goes. Okay, here we go. All right, thanks for joining me tonight. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to sign up for that subscribe button and also click on that like button as well. And please join me. This is my very first channel I've started. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so eventually I can contact Lego and get those sets from Lego and build them with you, and try to not only get to 1,000 subscribers, but build on that subscriber base and build from the 1,000 to 2,000 to 5, 10, and build a huge success base. And not only do I want to build these sets for you, but beyond these walls here in the back bedroom, I have a huge Lego store called Tri-State Bricks, which I'm currently building with my niece. And she will also be part of this Dr. Chaz store, our building platform. And she will help on this Eiffel Tower with me at some point. But she's helping me get the store, all the parts put away, get the drawers labeled. And eventually we have to turn around and take everything in those drawers and get it inventoried and put away in the system and get the books aligned and everything. And once that's all done, we'll get the store opened up and we'll let you know where you can buy all your loose parts at in case you're doing mock builds for your shows and stuff. And you can buy your mock parts from us. And to continue on. So let's take a look here. Let's try to find bags 5 and 6 right off the bat here. Here's bag 6. Looks like a pretty big bag. And bag 5. You can see there's not too many in there. I think there's 18 bags in this first box. But 5 and 6 are pretty big bags. I'm going to tear these open and put them onto our mat. Kind of nursing my wound here. I'm still nursing my wound. I had a ganglion cyst on the top of my hand and had it removed going on 2 weeks now. The doctor removed that, put in 6 stitches, and I thought, I had it removed on a Wednesday. I took the rest of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, and I said, yeah, no problem, I can go back to work. I work for Amazon, and I drive for the Tom team, driving the semi trucks out back of their warehouse, where I get in the pup truck and hook onto the trailers pull the trailers out of the door, whether they're empty or loaded, put them in a parking stall, drop them, hook onto another trailer, whether they're empty or loaded, and put them back into a dock door, drop them down, and then go to another dock door, pick up another one, drop it down, so on and so forth. And I thought, after 3 days of healing, not a problem. It's not going to hurt my hand. Well, how wrong I was. Saturday wasn't so bad. Sunday, my hand was like a golf ball. By Sunday evening, it was bleeding. It had kind of broken open and was bleeding. So Monday, I went back to the doctor Monday morning, and he said, no work Monday or Tuesday, which is the last 2 days of my work. And then I had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. Well, tomorrow's Friday. And then I got approved for short-term disability. So now I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week. And Friday I go back to the doctor again, and he's going to look at my hand. Hopefully the swelling is gone by then, and they'll take the stitches out. Hopefully the swelling's gone, like I said, and I can go back to work next week, Saturday. And if the swelling's not gone, figure out why and what we can do about it, and get me back to work. I have been out of work. November 19th, I had a total knee revision done on my total knee, and so since the 19th of November, it's been hell for me trying to get back to work. I have been working very little. Trying to get any work done. I've been living off short-term disability. Not getting much work, not much pay, so it's been rough. So, as you can imagine. Luckily, I've got a great wife who takes care of me and pays the bills. I mean, don't get me wrong, I pay the bills too, but not as much as I'd like to. So I've got this great little rubber mat for those of you who were not with us last time. I got this little rubber mat here off a website called Temu. I'm sure you've heard of that. If not, it's T-E-M-U. It's very addicting. It's very easy to get hooked on. They offer you a lot of specials where they'll give you free, pick 3 items for a penny, and all you do is have to, so you go pick 3 items for a penny, and then they'll say, okay, now go pick the 4th item, basically at a discounted rate for 5% off or whatever, and so you go pick. You'll go buy something for, say, $200. Well, that $200 will only subtract, you'll have to, it's only, I don't know, like 500, it's like 5% you got to subtract off the bill. And you'll buy something worth $200. And you think, okay, yeah, $200, no problem, that'll erase 5%. Yeah, that $200 will only erase about 0.5% maybe, and you'll still owe like 4.5% at $200, and so you'll buy another like $300 worth of stuff, and you'll think, okay, yeah, that should knock it way down, and that might erase another 1.5% or something. And then you'll still owe 3%. So now you've spent, $500. and you still owe like 2.5%, 3%, and yeah, and so you think that you're getting 3 free gifts that cost you 3 cents, but you turn around and had to buy, 6 more gifts that practically cost you $1,000. They kind of get you. You never do really figure out how much it cost you in the end, but it's really crappy. And then most of the stuff comes from China. I mean, there are some things that come from Taiwan, but yeah. But the hardest thing that I've found is that it's addicting. I love my Legos, and they have Chinese Legos, and what I mean by Chinese Legos is that they're identical to Swedish Legos or Finland Legos, wherever they build these things, and they're identical other than having the word Lego imprinted on them. And but they're half the cost, and so they have sets that are 14,000 pieces, and the 14,000 pieces only cost $300. As where the real Legos, 14,000 pieces. They don't even have a set that costs 14. They don't even have a set that's 14,000 pieces. So, yeah. Alright, just about done here, getting everything all cleaned up and organized so you can find something. Let's see here. Hardest part about this, getting ready for this is just getting the parts all cleaned up and organized so you can find stuff. Just grab and go. Okay, looks like we're ready here. So now, once again, we're on page 42 of book 1 for the Eiffel Tower. This is where I left off, is what you see in front of me right here. It's where the steps or bags 1, 2, 3, and 4 was right here. This is basically bags 1, 2, 3, and 4 was a identical 4-step procedure. You had to do the same 4 steps over and over and over 4 times, and you got the same 4 steps. So, and it looks like appearing again, looking at the book right here. It's kind of hard to see. I can show you here. Let's see right here. So right here, it says 4 times. So it looks like we're going to do it 4 times again on these books as well. So we're going to do these steps 4 times. Again, probably with bags 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then add that to these 4. So this will be a little bit easier now that I saw this, and we'll get through it. And real quick, before we get started, I'm going to grab a drink, put it over here by us. Thought I had one already, but maybe not. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Love my body armor. Keeps me going. Okay, here we go. Now, that. There you go. Okay, step 20, page 43. The thing about this is when you're doing these all 4 steps, you're kind of using up all the parts all at once. Okay, on to step 22, on page 44, if you're following along. I'm going to use some blue 2x4s here on the bottom side, and some 1x2s as well. Nope, not good. Gonna have to go there. Something's wrong with this, guys. Maybe you can figure this out, because it's showing it. Got the 1x2. Got the 1x2 here. And the book is showing it as the middle going right down here. So I don't know if that's going to be tough to do. I think it'll go, but it's going to be tough. I think right there. Yeah, I guess it does go. But the other thing is that whether it goes up. It's not going to go up against the boards there. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Looks like that's going to be it. It just doesn't get close. Maybe. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm guessing that's the way she goes. Sorry it took me so long, guys. Just kind of looking at it, it doesn't get close enough, and just kind of wacky to get on there. So yeah, it's going to be one of them challenging parts for you, I think. It's kind of stumping me, and I think it might stump you too, but maybe not. If you're really good at Legos, well then it's kind of got to sit in between the grooves, and it doesn't sit. If you'll notice here, it doesn't sit right here. There's a big groove in here. It kind of sits down in between the cracks. It sits nice and flush here, but you know, right here it sits flush, but it doesn't sit flush here. It sits down in the groove. So yeah, so it's going to be one of those. All right, how does this go on here? You know, it's not working. It's kind of showstopper. And now this one actually goes on up there at the top. So maybe now of all things, I do this one, and this one does go on there. Let's see. There you go. As you can see, that one goes right on the top, and there's no, as you notice here, there's no gap in here like the other one was. It didn't go to the bottom though here either. So I'm gonna have to go look at the other ones here. Let me see if this one goes on like it's supposed to. I think it will. Yes, it will. Just like it's supposed to. So I think what happened is the black piece, this black piece here is probably not on correctly on these other ones, is what I'm guessing. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing I can do with these because they just go on. You just snap right on. You know. Hey, look at this, folks. Here comes my, his name is Jack. And he is 16 years old. He's my bud. Right, Jackson? Yeah, come to say hi to everybody, huh? Say hi, Jack. gonna get back down, I guess. Doesn't want to say hi. There we go. Okay, now they all worked. Alright, now they all worked. Got them all on. No gap now. Got the gap at the bottom like we're supposed to. Just a matter of taking our time and figuring things out. So, alright, that's good. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Sometimes I'm just mistaken. Two, four, 6, 8. Alright, that's that. We got that all done. So that's that. That's done there. So we're on to step 24 on page 45. And I'm doing the yawn, which is doing great for me. Now I do eight pieces of the round. We're just putting a round pieces in the corner here. So we're just getting a round piece here in the corners. That's all we're doing with this step. Making a small correction here because I did something backwards. I'm going to reverse these black little mounts. All right. So we're getting closer to the opening day of Major League Baseball season. As you see, probably could see I've got Toronto Blue Jays on, although I'm not a Blue Jays fan. I'm just wearing the shirt because last year the wife was selected by a conductor of a church choir to go to New York City and sing at Carnegie Hall. She is that talented. And while she was there, I was lucky enough to go to Citi Field and see opening day between the New York Mets and the Toronto Blue Jays. And I didn't want to wear my Blue Jays jersey and have it ripped off me by someone crazy or something. So I ended up just buying a t-shirt in case there was a madman or something in New York that wanted to rip it off me and trash it. That way I didn't lose anything valuable to me. And so therefore I got a t-shirt instead of a jersey. So yeah, so that's where I got the jersey. And then of all things, the Blue Jays make the World Series. So and damn near become World Series champs, but they didn't. And instead, the Dodgers won the World Series and made me some money 2 years in a row. So, and you say, what? How did the Dodgers make you money 2 years in a row? Well, kind of ironic. Goes back 2 years, going on 3 years now. But 2 years ago, the Dodgers were favored to win the World Series according to Sports Illustrated, and I had a friend that goes to Vegas every year for his vacation, saves up his money all year long, flies to Vegas on Allegiant, and goes to casino, goes to shows, and is considered a high roller because all he does is throw his money in the machine. Everything he wins back, he throws it back in the machine and leaves empty-handed. That's all he does. That's his vacation every year. Sounds stupid, I know, but that's his fun, you know. It's like your fun of going to see 5 or 6 Major League Baseball games, you know, around the country and coming home and collecting souvenirs. His is going to Vegas, gambling on machines, winning, putting it back in, winning, and keep winning until he loses, and then goes home. And going to see shows for free because he's a high roller. So 2, 4, 6, and so anyhow, so he gets a high roller. So because of that, he gets the penthouse and gets the food comps and all that stuff every year. So anyhow, back to the Dodgers. I said, hey, would you put $100 down for the Dodgers to win the World Series for me? He goes, sure, yeah, no problem. So he puts $100 on the Dodgers to win. Well, they won the World Series. So I ended up winning $400. Not a bad take. So last year I said, hey, would you go and put $200 down on the Dodgers for me? I'm not much of a gambler myself. He goes, sure. I said, you know, and he comes back home and I go to pay him back. He goes, nah, don't worry about it. You know, birthday gift. Well, turns out the Dodgers won by the skin of their ass. So last year I won $640 on $200. So now this year coming up, I told myself, no, I'm not going to do it. Well, who's favored to win the World Series in 2026? Yeah, you guessed it, the LA Dodgers. According to the AI. And it's like, well, do you or don't you? And it's like, I'm tempted to, because if I put down $500 this year, I would bring home $1,650 on $500. So it's very, very tempting. And that's on, you know, that's on $500. So I could even go 1,000. But the way the Dodgers played the World Series, you know, I know it's kind of meant to be close. You know, I get it. They want to go 7 games and they want to play the final outs just so the economies can make more money. You know, but when it's that damn close, and you're coming down to the last out, the last hit, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to put money down again, because you very easily could bobble a ball or not hit the ball or whatever, and you go in extra innings and you could lose the damn thing. And it turns out you just might lose the game when you were really supposed to win it, and you threw it the wrong way. You know? So what are you supposed to do? You know? You should have won the game in 3 games and had it over with. And you know, like the Dodgers should have won it last year and just tore them up and beat them 1-2 in LA, and come to Toronto and beat them in 2 games in Toronto and been over with. But they messed up and he got away from them. Toronto just smacked them around, and yeah, it's like, uh-oh, we messed up. Yeah, you did. Okay, so now these parts are starting to expand here a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen here. We'll turn the page and find out if they connect somehow, or if they get laid out on the main stage. What's going to happen here? I'm getting a lot of yeah, this ain't good. I don't know, I'm getting some messages on my phone. I'll have to check my messages here a little bit. See what's going on here. Okay, on to step 29. Oh, what a puzzle there. Step 29, looks like it's the end here. 2 and 1. Oh, looks like we've got some extra parts that I missed somehow. Maybe not. Oh no, there's... Yes. Okay, so now these, and you get 3 pieces left out. Okay. These are not on here very good. Okay. These for that. These for that. That's one piece over here. And well, I'll need it here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's before. Okay, that's why they're not sitting together. Yeah, still falls apart. Okay. So it still falls apart, even though it's put together right. It's just really weak there at the round circles. Just the way it is. But it'll get better. Put these down here. It looks like. Let's see, right where that's at. And let's see, that goes there. Okay, so right here. We'll get out of the way here real quick. Let me see. Going on. snapping together. This is kind of cool. Here we go. Let's just all kind of get snapped together piece by piece. And as long as you fill this red and black into the grooves here, there's like a groove right here. And you put this red and black in. So you notice here, you got this red and black. And, and it falls apart, but don't worry about it. So you got red and black, red and black. So over here, you get a red and a black, and then here you just got a blank space and black, but the red will fall in the same line here. And then you got these pins, orange pins here. You want to make sure the orange pins are pulled out just a little bit so they're not sticking through, because if they're sticking through, you'll never get the red Technic bar to sit flat in there. Otherwise, everything else just kind of sits down in there, you know, just fine. So here, for example, and your red things will sit right here on the blue tabs. So you just kind of, and then also when you sit this in here, you just kind of fit it in there. You just kind of, so maybe you just slide this tab out. You want to do it very gently. Okay, no tab. And right like that. Right like that. And the other thing you'll find out is there's a hole right here on this end. Hole here, a hole here, and a hole here, all the way around. And then you just want to kind of press down all the way around. Hole all the way around. And then here, you kind of turn around here and put this down. Down, push it, and then when you're sure you push it down, slide your orange tabs in, and then you know for sure that it's in place because it's locked in, and it'll lock in all your tabs. And then you know you're good. And then this piece here, you know it's got to go underneath the red. Just lift it up a little bit and push it. Push your red there. Okay, it's all right there. And then you got this big opening, and that's what this piece was that I built. And it all sits right there and just gets pressed down. And you'll hear it snap into place. And there you go. And like I was saying again last night, or when we were on last, you would think that color Legos, so red, blue, tan, black, olive green, would be more expensive to produce because of the color factor. And so I've asked that question to a Lego employee at the Lego stores, and they, believe it or not, it's actually cheaper to make those Lego parts, and white is more expensive. And that's why when you build the base, just say like the Eiffel Tower or any building, you'll have the colors in your base, like we're doing right here. You've got the olive greens, the blacks, the blues, the reds, the tans, the brown, the orange, because they're cheaper to make. And so that way, in this case, it's 10,000 one piece. You're going to have a lot of colors into the build that they can go back and hide later because they're cheaper to make versus the white bricks. And that way it'll keep their costs down, and then at the same time they jack the price up because they got 10,000 bricks to make, and they make a hell of a profit on it. And most people don't realize that, or don't know that, or understand it, and they just think, oh, I got to pay 10,000, for 10,000 parts, and that's why the price is so high. So that's going to do it for tonight. That got us through bags 5 and 6, and that's page 52. That's going to take us on to pages 7 and 8, page 53, and it looks like there's 12 of the olive green plates that you're going to have to cover up with, but I would do it, but it looks like you're going to have olive green squares to put in there, and you have to pull that out of the box. But my back is not feeling really good, and I've got a lot of messages to answer on Messenger tonight, so I want to get that done, and maybe we can come back here a little bit later, but then we have a lot of flowers to take care of, so we'll see. Lots to do. Looks like a lot of flowers, a lot of plates. So maybe we can take care of that later. We'll have to wait and see. So I appreciate you joining me tonight. It was a lot of fun. As you can see, we got a lot done with the base. It's coming together. It's looking nice. And if you could please hit that subscribe and hit that like button so you can come back and join me tomorrow night. And if you got friends out there that just want to sit back and relax, something to listen to, maybe pick up some pointers and tips that you didn't pick up from somebody else, or you're just building along with me, feel free to do so. I greatly appreciate you listening to me, and kind of joining along. And when I make a mistake, you're making a mistake with me, and then we got to go back and fix it together. Or maybe you're making a mistake, and then you're yelling at me, going, "No, idiot! I figured it out. Why can't you do it?" We have a good laugh together. So, leave your comments down below about your favorite baseball team and who's going to win it all, and maybe if I should put some money on the Dodgers again, because I really want to, but when you start talking $500,000 when the economy is pretty tight right now, I don't have a lot of money. Everybody thinks Amazon, everybody makes big bucks. Well, yeah, you do if you're a manager, but as a peon like me, I'm an L3. Yeah, you don't make a hell of a lot. I'm getting 25 bucks an hour to drive a truck, and my trade overall as a registered nurse, I could be making 40 an hour, but I don't want the stress and the headaches of doing that job right now. So I don't need it. I don't want it. And I did it for 13 years, and I had enough. So Yeah, the money's nice, but you don't need the stress of the whole damn thing. So I'll build my Legos. I'll have my fun with my friends on YouTube, and yeah, a lot more fun that way. So subscribe and like. Join me. We'll build the Eiffel Tower. We'll have our fun. All right. So good night, everybody. We'll see you again on the next chapter. We'll build bags 5 and 6, and we'll go from there. Thank you. God bless. Good night.